How's it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with my Friday question and answers, episode 22. Before we get started, please leave a comment or a question in the comment section below so you can be featured in next week's episode. Like always, about sports, my life, or anything at all. And actually, I'm not feeling really well today. I about left school early, but I'm feeling kind of bad, so I apologize if I sound different or anything. But let's get started. Amari Green 11 asks, for the past few years at Alabama, there's been a halfback duo of Ingram Richardson Lacey Yeldon. Who do you think it will be in the 2013/2014 season? That's a very good question, and there's probably three different possibilities that could be. I'm thinking of either TJ Yeldon / Dawson Fowler, TJ Yeldon / Kenyon Drake, or TJ Yeldon / Derrick Henry, who is the running back coming in for this year's class. He'll be a freshman next year, but all-time rushing leader in the history of America in high school. So, and he's a big built guy, 6'3", about 240. So it's gonna be so fun to watch him in our offense. I'm not sure if he'll be able to contribute right away, but those are my three possibilities there. New York Jets fan 4747 asks, what is your favorite sport to play, or what is your favorite sport to watch? Both answers to that is football, obviously and definitely. Leo Smith, who is your favorite Heisman winner from 1995 to now? Probably Tim Tebow. XX Black Mamba XX24XX asks, what are the top defensive backs entering the draft, and who do you think the Patriots will draft? Top defensive back, definitely D. Milliner. And the Patriots, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go with somebody in the front seven. So maybe a defensive end that could drop late to them. I couldn't really tell you who right now. I can't think off the top of my head, but I'd say either a defensive end or a linebacker of some sort. Maybe a safety. I think they go defense definitely, and with their pick. Peyton Manning asks, why do you hate Peyton Manning? Because he always beat the Titans? Oh yeah, I saw this question. I don't hate Peyton Manning by any means. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play football. I'm not really sure why you think I hate Peyton Manning. I don't think I ever said anything like that before. And yes, he always definitely beat the Titans, but I don't hate him at all. I don't know why you think that. MGS1fan1234 asks, if Chip Kelly took the job at the Browns, do you think the Browns would have gone to a playoff game, possibly the Super Bowl? I guess he's asking this in reference for last year. I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sure if that'd have been better because they're limited on talent. They have a few young guys, but they're still limited. I think it'll take them a few more draft classes. But I mean, obviously now Chip Kelly's at the Eagles. He asked this question before Chip Kelly actually took the Eagles job, so he didn't. No fault to him there. But no, I don't think they really would have made the playoffs if he was their coach this year. Duke Crew asks, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? 5 years from now, I more than likely will be just about to graduate from college with a degree in sports broadcast journalism, and hopefully I'll have a job somewhere covering any type of sport. That would be awesome. BJ Rich 93 asks, okay, serious question this time. What round do you think Marcus Lattimore would be drafted in? With LSU losing 10 juniors and having to play Texas A&M, Bama, Georgia, and Florida, do you think LSU is a full loss team next season? Go ahead and address the Marcus Lattimore question before. If you haven't seen my top 10 NFL running back prospects this year video, go watch that. I have him projected in the 7th round. I think it's so many question marks about his health, but he is the most talented running back in his draft. So I think he gets drafted, but I'd say 6th, 7th round. But I think he definitely gets drafted. Because, I mean, yeah, he's the most talented running back, but he's not going to be able to play for another year, maybe more than that. So that definitely weighs in on the factor of a bunch of GMs. And his other question, with LSU losing 10 juniors, having to play A&M, Bama, Georgia, Florida, do you think LSU is a full loss team next year? No, but they're definitely not going to be near as good as they were this year. I think they win one of those 4 games, maybe 2. They might beat Georgia and Florida, but I think they will lose. Actually, I think they lose one of Georgia, Florida, and they win one of those, and they win one of Texas A&M and Bama. But they're not going to be nearly as talented as they were this year. But I say maybe 2-3 loss team next year. I don't think they'll lose all 4 of those games. BRich93 also asked, when will we finally win a national championship? Luckily, he has a South Carolina logo as his little picture there, so I know he's a South Carolina fan, and he's referencing South Carolina. South Carolina, they're definitely a top program. Well, not necessarily a top program, but they're definitely competing year in and year out. They've had the first couple of 10-win seasons in the history of their program. I mean, Steve Spurrier definitely has them going in the right direction. And I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe in the next 10 years win a national championship. But I mean, to win a national championship it's such a hard thing to predict and such a hard thing to do. I mean, there's 119 teams. What is it now? 123? I don't know. Fighting for a national championship each year, and it's so hard. And luckily Alabama's in one of the most historic times in college football history right now, and I mean it's so hard, so it's so hard to predict. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him win maybe in the next 10 years. That answers your question. Dojo50, how well do you think Kansas State will do next year? They definitely lose a lot of talent, and a lot of key pieces of their team is gone. Specifically, Colin Klein, Arthur Brown, etc. Their tight end Tannehill is gone as well. They do bring a lot of JUCOs as always, and maybe they can fit in that position and play very well, but that's very risky. And I think Daniel Sims, though, the backup quarterback that's going to be starting next year, I think he's very good. I've seen him in mop-up duty, and he looks like a very good quarterback. I think he's a little bit more mobile than Colin Klein, and I think he throws a little bit better. But I'm not a coach, so I don't know. But I don't know. I don't think they'll be a BCS team next year. I can't say there'll be a BCS team the next few years at that, but they're not going to be a bad team. I could say I see a 9-win team next year. Razorback 1995 asks, do your parents know that you do YouTube videos, and if so, what do they think about it? Yeah, they know. I've been doing YouTube videos for years and years, not specifically on this channel, but I made my first YouTube video probably like 6 years ago, and yeah, they know. They think it's pretty cool. Actually, my dad somehow watched my Manti Te'o video that I put on here the other day, and that was really awkward because I came home. I mean, I tell them that I don't want them to watch it because that's just very awkward. And somehow I came home and he said that he agreed with everything I said, and I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he said, the Manti Te'o video. I was like, oh. And I don't know how in the world he watched it, but he did, so that was awkward, but still. They don't really watch it, but they think it's cool because they know I get paid and everything, so they consider it my job right now. But yeah. Next question, Maximilian Teams asks, have you ever been to an Alabama football game? If so, what are the best seats? Thanks, love your channel. Yeah, I've been to plenty. I've been to at least 7, 8 games, and the best seats I've ever had was in the Arkansas game in 2009 or 2010, the game that Trent Richardson broke off that amazing run where he broke like 6 different tackles. I think this was his freshman year, and he broke so many tackles. I was at that game, and we had the seats that were in the lower bowl, but they are at the very top of the lower bowl, so we had our backs against the concrete wall. And I'm not gonna lie, the seats aside from those were very uncomfortable unless you pay the $5, $10 for the seat cover that has a back to it. But without having a seat cover, it is kind of uncomfortable and your back starts to hurt. But we were up against a concrete wall, and that was amazing, not having anybody behind us and being able to sit straight up. So that was awesome. So I forget what row it was, maybe like 60 something, but still in the lower bowl, great seats. Any seat in Bryant-Denny is great. I mean, it might be stressful on your back or something depending on your health situations, but still, any seats visual wise is very, very great in Bryant-Denny. The only seats that I haven't sitting in, or like general area I haven't sitting in, is the end zone seats in the upper deck. I haven't sitting in any of those yet, but just about everywhere else I've sat. Mr. R3 or Mr. React 6 asks, who do you think will be top Heisman candidates next year? Top of my head, definitely Johnny Manziel, AJ McCarron, Jadeveon Clowney, Marquise Lee. Let's see. Man, I always go blank, but I'm trying to think. Maybe even TJ Yeldon. I know I'm a homer, but still. Aaron Murray, definitely. Braxton Miller. The quarterback, a sleeper is the quarterback for Louisiana Monroe. That guy can play. He's not going to win the Heisman, but he might be up in the discussion if he plays like he did last year. Let's see. Go through ACC. Taj Boyd, Sammy Watkins from Clemson, and I'm definitely going blank. I can't think of many more, but maybe even you throw in Blake Bell from Oklahoma. And that's really all I can think of. I'm probably leaving out a few that are actually obvious, but those I can think of. Sorry, off the top of my head. Game Master 559 asks, what college do you want to go to? I mean, obviously the University of Alabama. I've been accepted, but it all depends on scholarships that I receive. I've received one from South Alabama, one from Spring Hill, one from Southern Miss, and I'm still waiting on Troy. And if Alabama doesn't offer me a scholarship, I mean, I want to go, but I mean, money is definitely the biggest factor in this, and they're very expensive. So it comes down to really South Alabama, University of Alabama, Troy, Southern Miss, and Spring Hill. And he also asked who is the worst punter in the NFL, and to be honest, I don't know. I have no clue whatsoever, but pretty much every punter in the NFL has to be perfect, or they wouldn't have a job in the NFL. I mean, punters are on such a short leash in the NFL. If they make one mistake, they could be fired. So I would hate to be a kicker or punter in the NFL, but that's just the way it goes. There's so many kickers out there that are capable of making kicks like the NFL players do. So they're on short leashes. So I'm sure all of them are good. Bama's rolling. Ask, what do you think about Alabama's recruiting class so far? It looks very great. Hopefully we can get Reuben Foster signed. I don't care what people say about his character or anything. The guy is one of the best linebackers I've ever seen, and he could possibly play as a true freshman. That's how talented he is. D-liner's probably going to end up flipping. He's probably 99% sure going to be committing to Alabama on that National Signing Day. He's a very good player as well. It sucks that we missed out on Robert Ndiki, or however you want to say his name, Ndiki. But we can't get them all. Jonathan Allen's a very good prospect, very good defensive end. We have so many quarterbacks committed in our situation after Adrian McCarron leaves. I think it's going to be great. We'll have 6 quarterbacks fighting for the job once AJ leaves. That leaves us with Philip Ely, Alec Morris, Blake Sims, Parker McLeod, who's committed for this upcoming class, Cooper Bateman, same thing, and Luke Del Rio, who was actually the son of former Jaguars coach Jack Del Rio, and he actually had an offer to go to Oklahoma State, and I think he was committed, then he decommitted, or he might not never been committed. That might have been one of his only offers, but anyway, he was considering going to Oklahoma State, might have been committed, not sure, and he decided to walk on to Alabama. They preferred him as a walk-on, didn't offer him a scholarship, but he accepted the walk-on opportunity, and he'll be at Alabama, and he's a very good quarterback too. I'm not sure why he did that, but I guess with your father being a former NFL head coach and an NFL coach right now, I'm not sure where he's at as a positional coach or coordinator, whatever he's at. But still, I don't think there'll be any problem for him to pay his way, and I think eventually he'll earn a scholarship. But I think our situation there is going to be good. Have a stable running backs, Derrick Henry, also Tim Penny. We're in the mix for Kamara, who's a very good running back, and Robert Woods, or is that his name? Robert Woods, the wide receiver from Pitt. I think he's going to be very good. He might even get playing time as a wide receiver. It depends really on how the others shape up. So we have a really deep wide receiver class. But I mean, all in all, we're recruiting class very well, and it's one of the tops in the nation, as it's been ever since Nick Saban's been here. Razorback 1995 asks another question: what music do you like? Man, to be completely honest with you, I'll listen to absolutely anything other than some country. I don't like most country, honestly. And I know that's weird with me coming from Alabama, but I promise you just about any other music except screamo. Screamo, I hate screamo. But most country and screamo, put that out of the mix, and I'll listen to anything. And you don't understand. I'll listen to anything. Drew and Caitlin ask, what do you think Chip Kelly will do with the Eagles offense, since Michael Vick can be a running QB and Oregon was an option spread type offense? I actually think it'll be fun to watch. She's not going to run the same principles as you did at Oregon, not going to run the same offense, but some of well, he will run the same principles, but he won't run the same exact offense. It'll be off the same philosophy, and I don't think there's any other quarterback in the NFL aside from the ones coming in now, like Russell Wilson, RG3, etc. There's not another veteran quarterback that can run this type of offense like Michael Vick can. So it'll be fun to watch. I'm not sure if he'll be successful his first year, but I do see the Eagles improving definitely. But it really depends on how their defense was, because their defense was pretty much the biggest reason for their failures this year. So if he can get that fixed, I think they can be a good 8-win team maybe. Matt Bordas asked, what is your opinion on the whole Manti Te'o mess? It's actually too long for me to say in this video, but I can tell you I did make a video on this actually yesterday or the day before yesterday, so go to my recent videos and go watch that, and I'll tell you my whole entire opinion on the situation. And SEC Guy 06 asked, how are things with you and your girl? By the way, when you two break up, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, assuming this is your first serious relationship. Things are going good, man. I don't know why you're so negative when you two break up. I mean, you never know, really. I mean, I know we're young, but I mean, man, I'm almost 18, and I think it is kind of crazy because this is really my first relationship, but we've almost been dating for like it's getting closer and closer to 2 years, and you don't really normally see people my age last that long. But I mean, like normal relationships, you argue about stuff, and sometimes it can be annoying, but like I've said before, it's worth it in the end. And all your questions normally seem to be about my relationship, so I kind of noticed that, but it's okay. I said you can ask anything, and I mean that. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a comment in the a question in the comment section below, and I'll answer every question in next week's episode, which will be episode 23. Yep, episode 23. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Roll Tide, go Sox, and go Titans to you. And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you later.